Hey guys, and welcome to my team builder of week 3 of the P4G next generation. Last week we managed to get a 4-0 win against the Tasmanian Toxic Rogues, but this week we're facing Blue Rogue and his AFC Wormadam. Rogue's a really cool guy, he joined my team for me last 2 weeks, so be sure to check out his channel. But he also has a really scary draft. I really struggled prepping a team for this match. So yeah, anyway, let's start with his tier 1 pick, and that is Victini. Victini is just such a big threat to my team. I really don't have any switch-ins to this mon. My only resist is Ladios, I'm pretty sure. But Ladios doesn't switch into a Bandit V-Create anyways. Bandit V-Create pretty much 2-hit KOs my whole team, if not OKOs it. So yeah, that sucks. I do have Flash Fire Chandelure though, but as you guys can already see on the screen, I did not bring Chandelure this week. So yeah, Victini is a big problem for my team. Most of my mons do outspeed it though. Well, not most of my mons, but mons like Ladios and Mega Lapney. But if it runs Choice Scarf Victini, then which I could definitely see coming by the way, then that doesn't matter at all. It just outspeeds my mons. And Scarf Victini, even though it lacks the power Banditini has, it still hits really hard. Another problem is that Victini is also really versatile. Rogue could also bring some kind of special Victini with blue flare and stuff, so yeah, you really don't know what to expect with this thing. I really need to, well, definitely need to play my cards right when facing this mon. But Rogue's next mon is Togekiss. Togekiss is a, well, pretty interesting Pokemon with its Serene Grace ability. It pretty much tries to flinch you down with its Air Slash. So that thing could be really scary. If he's gonna bring it, I'm more expecting a defensive Togekiss just to take moves from Mega Lapney better and potentially T-Wave my team like Ladios and, well, Mega Lapney. He could bring a Choice Scarf set, which is definitely possible. Just try to flinch my team down that way. And well, Choice Scarf Togekiss actually has a pretty good matchup against my team because I really don't have the best switches for flying type moves. I do have 3 resist, but Bisharp is pretty frail and it dies to an Aura Sphere. Circuitry is frail and Empoleon also gets hit pretty hard by Aura Sphere. So yeah, Togekiss I could definitely see coming and it could definitely put in some work against my team. This next one is Decidueye. I don't see Decidueye coming, to be honest. It is a pretty good mon, it gets Swords Dance and Defog. If he's gonna bring Decidueye, I could see a Swords Dance Sucker Punch set just to hit my Chandelure and Ladios, well, pretty hard. So that could be a possibility. But his next mon is Swampert. Swampert is a pretty solid defensive mon, gets Roar, Scald, Earthquake, also can set up Rock, so that could be a possibility, I guess. I'm not sure if he's gonna bring Swampert because I have Cryogonal and it pretty much can't touch Ladios, but it is a possibility. But his next mon is Tekka and he's definitely gonna bring that thing. That thing is just so powerful. I think it was tier 4, I really don't understand that. It should at least be tier 3 in my opinion, if not tier 2. But yeah, he has Tekka. That thing is just really bulky, he has great defense stats and HP, but also a massive attack stat. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but I know they're in like 100 or something. But yes, Tekka I definitely see coming. If he's able to set up a Trick Room, Gyro Ball pretty much hits my entire team hard. So yes, Tekka is a really big threat, can hit really hard. My best switching for that thing is probably Gliscor, but even then Gliscor still gets hit very hard by a Rock EMZ Stone Edge, what's it called, Continental Crush. But yeah, I kind of spoiled this already now, but yeah, his Z Crystal is the Rock EMZ, so he could bring Tekka with the Rock EMZ. That's definitely a possibility. Next mon he has is Rotom Fan. Rotom Fan is, in my opinion, probably the worst Rotom form, but it is definitely not a bad mon. Even though I'm not really seeing him bring Rotom Fan, it could maybe put in some work as a Scarf set to outspeed Lapney, or maybe just a defensive set to take moves from Lapney better and maybe Will-O-Wisp me or try to Will-O-Wisp me. But now we get to his mega pick, and that is Mega Ladios, and I'm definitely gonna see this thing coming because it's just so bulky. It has great attack, well, special attack, and well, but actually pretty good attack as well. Its defenses are pretty high and it's also, well, really good speed. It speed ties with Ladios at max speed. So yeah, that thing is definitely coming. It takes moves from Mega Lapney, well, really well, and it could actually, well, it speed ties with Ladios as I said, so it could maybe outspeed me in a speed tie and knock me out with Draco Meteor. Mega Ladios is also pretty scary because if it's able to set up a Calm Mind, it can definitely put in some work against my team with stored power and, well, other kinds of moves, so I definitely gotta watch out for that. It's just really hard to take down. It's so bulky, it gets recovery and roost slash recover. So yeah, as I said, I really gotta watch out for that thing. But this next one is Scolipede. Scolipede is a pretty interesting mon. It has the speed boost ability, which allows it to, well, pretty much outspeed my entire team after one speed boost. I'm not really certain if he's gonna bring Scolipede, but it does have a reasonable good matchup against my team, as it's able to naturally outspeed my Latios, and after a speed boost is also able to outspeed Choice Scarf Latios. Scolipede also gets coverage in Rock Slide and Earthquake to handle what's called Chandelure, so yeah, gotta watch out for that. So I could see him bring Scolipede, not entirely sure though. But his next mon is a mon he's definitely gonna bring, and that is Mamoswine. Mamoswine is just such a scary mon. Ground Ice type stab is just so good, it just hits pretty much everything on my team. Well, almost everything. I do have an answer for that, which I will get to in a minute. But yeah, Ice Skull Crash, Earthquake, it just hits so hard. It also gets priority in Ice Shard, so that way it can handle with Latios. So yeah, I really gotta watch out for Mamoswine. There's also a possibility he could be Choice Scarf to outspeed Latios, so I definitely gotta watch out for that as well. But another mon I gotta watch out for is Hariyama. Hariyama is a pretty interesting mon. It also has the Thick Fat ability just like Mamoswine, but if he's gonna bring it, I'm not seeing Thick Fat but Guts instead, because Flame Orb Guts Hariyama after the Guts boost, it pretty much OHKOs my entire team. Well, not OHKOs it, but it just hits my team very hard. I pretty much have no good switches for this thing. Well, maybe Gliscor, but he has Ice Punch for that, also for Latios and maybe Knockoff. And I do have Aromatisse as well, but he also has Heavy Slam to hit Aromatisse. Hariyama also gets priority with Fake Out and Bullet Punch, so yeah, it's just a really solid mon in my opinion. And last but not least is Skuntank. Skuntank is actually a mon I'm seeing him bring as well, just to Pursuit Trap my Ladi and possibly go for Sucker Punch shenanigans. Yeah, I can definitely see him bring Skuntank because it it handles Ladi pretty well. Maybe an Assault Vest Skuntank to take my special moves better. But yeah, that was it for his team. As I said, it was really scary and I did have some trouble prepping for it, but in the end I did come up with a team which will hopefully be able to beat his. But first off, let's start off with Playgirl the Lopunny. We're bringing Lopunny this week because he really doesn't have any switches for this thing. He does have one normal resist, and that is Tekka Tekka, but that thing has a 4-time weakness to fighting type moves. So yeah, Lopunny is just such a good threat against his team. We're bringing Frustration and High Jump Kick, so pretty much the standard stuff, but we're also bringing Quick Attack. Quick Attack is mainly there to maybe do some chip damage against Victini if that thing is Choice Scarf. I just thought Quick Attack might come in really clutch, and we're also bringing Power Up Punch. I didn't really have a fourth move I needed to bring, and I thought Power Up Punch would be nice, just maybe to get a kill on something with Power Up Punch, get our attack boost and hit the next mon really hard, so that could come in really clutch. As for our EVs, we're bringing Adamant. We don't need to run Jolly, as Mega Lopunny pretty much outspeeds his whole team. His fastest mon is Scolipede, and well, if that thing isn't set up after a speed boost, we just outspeed that thing by 1 point, which is nice. The remaining are just put in defense just to take possible Ice Shards from Mamoswine better. So yeah, Playgirl the Lopunny is pretty important for this match. I really need this thing to grab some kills. Next one I'm bringing is actually Aromatisse. Tease the Aromatisse. I originally wasn't going to bring this thing, but I thought it would have a nice matchup against his team, and Aromatisse is pretty much my only thing for Hariyama, even though it doesn't handle Hariyama too well. It is my best thing for it. We're bringing the Babiri Berry just to take Hariyama's Heavy Slam better and, well, do some damage with Moonblast. We aren't able to OHKO it with Moonblast, but still do a solid amount, which is definitely nice. So yeah, we're bringing Moonblast, Toxic to potentially get a Toxic off on Mega Latias in case that thing wants to set up in our face. So that would be really nice. We're also bringing Wish and Protect just for support. As for Tease's EVs, we're bringing 244 in HP, max in defense just to take moves from Hariyama better with a Bold Nature of course, and 12 in Spadef. I'm not sure what this Spadef investment was for. I really can't remember off the top of my head anymore. It was for something I think, but I can't remember, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is it for Aromatisse. Not sure if it's gonna do the most work because he has Tekka Tekka, and Tekka Tekka takes my Moonblast pretty well. Originally we had HP Ground for Tekka Tekka, but I replaced it for Toxic because I could see Mega Latias become a problem. So yeah, that is it for Aromatisse. But next one I'm bringing is Cryogonal. It's making its debut in the P4G. Crisis, the shiny Cryogonal. Shiny Cryogonal looks really cool, by the way. It just looks much cooler than the regular Cryogonal. But yeah, as I said, we're bringing Crisis with the leftovers, max HP, 196 in defense and 60 with a timid nature in speed. That way we outspeed non-scarf Jolly Mamoswine by 1 point. We're bringing Cryogonal because it's pretty much my only thing for Mamoswine. I have no switches for Mamoswine aside from Cryogonal. So we're bringing Cryogonal specifically for that thing. So Freeze Dry is there to, well, as our main Ice type move, but also to hit Swampert. It's pretty much OHKOs any form of Swampert. We're bringing HP Fighting as well. That way we can hit Stekateka as well as Mamoswine. Cryogonal can pretty much 1v1 every form of Mamoswine except if he brings a Superpower or Stone Edge on Mamoswine, but I really don't see him bring that. If he does, well, that's good for him I guess, but I really don't see him bring either of those two moves. We're also bringing Rapid Spin. I didn't have a hazard removal option on this team yet, so Rapid Spin on Cryogonal and Recover just to recover our HP. Speaks for itself I guess. So yeah, that is it for Cryogonal. I really hope it will put in some work. As I said, it is my main thing for Mamoswine, so I really need to preserve that thing if Mamoswine is still around. But another mon we're bringing for the first time is Bisharp. Checkmate to Bisharp. We're bringing this thing for the first time because it just has a pretty good matchup against his team. We're bringing Iron Head to hit the Togekiss, well, really hard. We're bringing Iron Head just to hit the Togekiss really hard. Sucker Punch for priority because that's really important against the Victini and maybe the Megaladias if that thing packs speed. But we're also bringing Pursuit. Pursuit can be really nice against, again, the Victini and the Megaladias. If Victini is choiced in any ways and can touch my Bisharp and needs to switch out, we can just go for Pursuit. But Pursuit is also there to trap Victini if it just went for a V-Create. After using a V-Create, it gets a defense drop and a speed drop. So if it's not Scarfed, we can just Pursuit it and pretty much knock it out. We're also bringing Knockoff because it's our best thing to hit Megaladias. As for Checkmate's EVs, it's pretty standard, max speed, max attack with a Jolly nature. We're bringing Jolly with max speed because that way we speed tie with Decidueye, max speed just Decidueye. So yeah, if we decide to bring that thing, we do speed tie with it and Dread Blade just to power up our dark type moves. So yeah, I'm hoping Bisharp will put in some work just like Crisis, bringing these two things for the first time this week. So yeah, hoping they will put in some work. But another mon we're bringing is Scorpio the Gliscor. Gliscor is, well, a defensive wall in my team because it's pretty much my best thing. Well, the best thing I have for a physical Victini. But Gliscor is also there to take moves from Stekateka. Gliscor pretty much takes all of its moves reasonably well, aside from a Continental Crush. And after taking that, it can just really hit hard with Earthquake. We also have Toxic for the Latias as well. Because Latias is a pretty free switch in against Gliscor, so that way we can maybe predict a switch into Latias, go for the Toxic and put that thing on a timer. Roost is there for recovery, and I'm also bringing Stealth Rock on Gliscor. I really wanted to bring Stealth Rock because it really wears down the Victini, which is definitely necessary. And I didn't have a Stealth Rocker on this team, and so I decided to put it on Gliscor. As for Scorpio's EVs, we bring in the standard HP spread, max defense as I said, to take moves from Victini and Stekateka better, and yeah, the remaining is Spadef. And last mon we're bringing is actually Cobalt the Latios. We're bringing Latios again this week with Draco Meteor, Surf, Psychic and Roost. We're bringing a Life Orb set this week just to hit as hard as possible. Draco Meteor is here of course to hit Latias as hard as possible, possibly OHKO that thing with the Life Orb boost. But we're also bringing Surf. Surf, I'm pretty sure it OHKOs max HP Stekateka without Spadef investment, so that is really nice, and Surf also hits the Victini really hard. We're also bringing Psychic. Psychic is pretty much necessary for the Hariyama because I'm really scared of the Hariyama as I said, and Psychic does a lot to that thing if not OHKOs it. Well, as long as it's not Assault Vest, and Roost is there of course just to recover some HP if we ever face off against Contank and we're basically, well, trapped against this thing. Maybe we can play around the Sucker Punches and Pursuits by going for Roost. As for Cobalt's EVs, we're bringing max attack, max speed. We need to bring max speed Timid, that way we speed tie with max speed Timid Megaladias. So yeah, it's pretty much necessary to bring this set. Of course, max attack to hit as hard as possible and, well, 4 in defense. But yeah, this is it for my team. I really hope we can grab a win against Rogue. So yeah, let's get right to the battle. Okay, so here we are with the match. Before we start though, I want to thank Aaron2420 for joining my team this week. And I also want to thank Blue Rogue for recording our battle. Their links are in the description down below. Well, of course Rogue's in the description since he's our opponent, but anyway, let's have a look at the team he brought. He brought Swampert, Victini, Latias, Skuntank, Stekateka and the Mamoswine. So pretty much what I expected. He did bring the Swampert though instead of the Hariyama, so that was something I was really happy about. But he still has a lot of other threats on his team. So yeah, anyway, let's have a look at how the battle went. So for my lead, I decided to lead Gliscor in case he wanted to lead Victini, because if I would lead with anything else and Victini would force me out, that would be kinda bad, and also I might be able to set up my rocks early game. So that is what I decided to do, but unfortunately for me, he does lead off with the Swampert, so that is a pretty bad lead for me, as he could just Scald me. I could try to get off a Toxic, but then again, I don't want to risk the Scald burn. And I also have a pretty good switch into Cryogonal, so that is what I decided to do. I went right into Cryogonal as he actually throws off the Ice Beam, so that would have been really bad if I stayed in with Gliscor, so luckily I didn't. I am able to just recover most of the damage I took right here with my leftover, so that is really nice. But now I'm pretty certain he doesn't want to stay in against this thing, so I go for an early game prediction and I go right for the HP fighting, predicting the Stakataka, and he does switch out and he does in fact go into the Stakataka, so that is really huge for me. I get huge damage off against this thing. About 50%, so that is really nice. So now it pretty much seems like another HP fighting will 2-hit KO this thing. So I decide to just go for that, don't want to over predict anything. He does switch out though, and he goes right in the Victini. And that is pretty much a problem for me, because Victini is in again, it just eats the HP fighting. If it was HP ground it would be kinda risky, but then again I'm pretty sure Victini would live on HP ground. Now I pretty much have to switch out and go into Scorpio. I really hope this thing is physical, because Scorpio is my defensive wall, but unfortunately he is a special Victini and it does over half with the blue flare. Luckily I don't get burned though, but it's still 2-hit KO, so I decided to preserve Gliscor right here and go to Latios to take the blue flare, as he does go for the blue flare, and that kinda makes me suspect this thing being Choice Scarf. Luckily I don't get burned as well on Latios, so that is nice. And he does switch out right here, so I really think this thing is Choice Scarf. I went for the Surf as it hits the Victini and also hits a Stakataka, but he actually goes into the Skuntank right here. And I go for Surf. I think that would do a solid amount of damage, but it actually does pretty much nothing, so that pretty much confirms to me that this thing is Assault Vest. I go for the Roost right here, kind of scouting for the Pursuit, as I really think this thing tries to Pursuit trap me. And as you guys can see, it does in fact go for the Pursuit, so that kinda sucks, because that means Latios is pretty much trapped in here with the Skuntank. So now some turns follow with 50-50s. I go for the Draco right here, predicting him to go for another Pursuit. I really didn't see him go for the Sucker Punch, and I really hope Draco will knock this thing out, but unfortunately it does lift on a little amount of HP. He does in fact go for the Pursuit right here, so I got the 50-50 right, but he does get me very low, so I pretty much have to Roost up right here and hope he doesn't go for Crunch or something, but he does go for the Sucker Punch and I am able to Roost up. So things are going pretty well so far. Cobalt has some HP recovered, but as I said, I was really scared of the Crunch and I thought Roost would be too obvious, so I decided to go for the attack, but unfortunately he did go for the Sucker Punch and he's able to kill my Latios. So there was probably a misplay on my part, so that really sucks. Latios would have been able to really put in some work against his team. But now I can go into the Lopunny to try to finish this thing off. I Mega Evolve right here, go for the Frustration to knock this thing out. I'm pretty sure he goes for the Sucker Punch right here to get off some chip damage. Let's see. Yeah, he does in fact go for the Sucker Punch, try to get some chip damage off. It does nothing because I'm a fighting type right now and I am able to knock this thing out with the Frustration, so that is nice, but unfortunately he does have the Aftermath ability. So I get weakened even further, so while I am able to get rid of the Skuntank, I did lose my Lati and got my Lopunny weakened, so that kinda sucked. But now what even sucks even more is that Victini is in again, and I still think this thing is Scarfed, so I decide to switch out right here and sack my Gliscor. Gliscor was really only there for the Skuntank and the Stakataka, but since Gliscor is so weakened, it wouldn't really do anything anymore against the Stakataka. I couldn't switch into any of its moves, so Gliscor is gone unfortunately. But now I pretty much have no switches against this Victini, so I have to go into Bisharp, try to get rid of this thing. So let's actually pause the battle right here, because now some more 50-50s come into play. So basically I could Sucker Punch right here, predicting him to go for the blue flare and try to get rid of this thing. But also I could go for the Pursuit, predicting him to switch. So it's basically a 50-50. in the end though I decided to go for the pursuit because I really couldn't see him stay in against a possible Sucker Punch Bisharp. But unfortunately for me he does stay in and he goes for the blue flare, but he actually misses, and that is really huge. I go for the pursuit right here. I pop the Colbur Berry, so even if I went for Sucker Punch it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, he did miss the blue flare, that really sucked for him. But now it's pretty much another 50-50. Does he stay in or does he switch out? I go for the Sucker Punch, don't want to risk anything anymore. And he does stay in and I am able to get rid of the Victini. So while that is really big for me, Victini was such a big threat to my team. It really sucked for my opponent, I really felt bad about it. He goes into the Swampert where I have to switch out since I need Bishop for, what's it called, Latias. And Cryogonal is pretty much my best switching against this thing. It takes any of its moves. He actually makes a double though into Latias. Latias was pretty much his best bet against my Cryogonal. I fear the Calm Mind right here, so I decide to go into the Aromatisse to try to Toxic this thing or possibly take a Draco Meteor. I could also just take a Psyshock pretty well. He does Mega Evolve and I think he goes for the Reflect type. Yeah, he does go for the Reflect type. So that was some pretty cool tech. I think he predicted my Bisharp switch in. So if I went into Bisharp, that would have been pretty cool. He is a pure Fairy type though. So Moonblast won't hit this thing as hard as it otherwise would. Also, Psyshock isn't stab anymore, which is nice. But I am able to get off a Toxic right here. I just want to put this thing on a timer since it's so bulky. And I think this would really help. Now I think I go for the Moonblast just to weaken this thing. Let's see what happens. He does switch out, yeah, and I think I just go for the Moonblast as he switches into his Tekka, so we get some more chip damage off against this thing, so that is really nice. No, I actually go for the Wish, sorry. Apparently I go for the Wish, yeah, if he wanted to stay in, attack me, I could just recover up the damage. Now I go for the Moonblast, yeah, to weaken this Tekka. I can pretty much take any of its moves because I get wished up. As he actually goes for the Trick Room right here. So on the Trick Room he is actually faster than me because I do outspeed him with by 1 point. I have 0 speed IVs, but I went ahead and tried to outspeed that thing outside of Trick Room. So now I pretty much have to stall the Trick Room turns. I go for the Protect right here as he goes for the Gyro Ball. I also went for Protect in case he wanted to fire off the Z move. Now I go for the Wish, I think, yeah, in case he wants to go for the Z move. But he goes for the Gyro Ball right here. And my Berry pretty much allows me to eat that move. It pretty much does nothing as I go for the Wish again, as I said. Now I go for Protect again. It's pretty much my safest play again. If he wanted to go for the Z move, the Z move gets weakened and I also get to stall some more Trick Room turns. He goes for the Stone Edge, but as I said, I protected, so I'm up to full again. But now he has only one more Trick Room turn left, so I decide to attack with Moonblast right here as he goes for the Gyro Ball. Since I don't have the Berry anymore, it does some more than last time, but still not too much. And I am able to get off another Moonblast and allow this thing to get really low. I also get this Protect drop, that was really important, not really. The Twisted Dimensions return to normal though, so I am able to outspeed this thing right now and I am able to knock this thing out with a Moonblast. So that is really huge. Tekka was such a big threat to the team and now it's gone, so that was really nice for me. Now he gets in his Mamoswine though, but I'm not too afraid of this thing because I did prep for it and I do have a switch in for this thing and that is my Cryogonal. So I switch out right here into Crisis the Cryogonal, taking his EQ or Icicle Crash, whatever he wants to throw at me. I was kinda scared if he had Stone Edge or Superpower, but he went for Icicle Crash and I do avoid it, so I felt even worse after that miss. He goes for the Icicle Crash again and he does outspeed me, so that pretty much confirms that he's Choice Scarf. I just went for the HP Fighting right here as it would 3-hit KO him. And it does a lot of damage, as you guys can see. I just recover some more HP with my leftovers. I decided to just keep HP Fighting because if he stays in I would weaken this thing and I could freeze try anything else. He keeps going for Icicle Crash, so I'm really scared he would flinch me at any point, but luckily he doesn't right now, so I am able to get off another HP Fighting, but I am getting kinda low by these Icicle Crashes, I mean. So I go for the Recover this turn, I think. Really hoping he won't flinch me to death, because that could also happen, and that would really suck since Cryogonal is pretty important in this match. He goes for the Icicle Crash, gets me down to 57, but luckily he doesn't flinch me. I am able to recover up all of my well, taken damage. Well, not all of my damage, but most of it. So I am pretty much up to full almost again, and I am able to just go for HP fighting afterwards and, well, knock this thing out. He goes for the icicle crash again. I really hope it won't flinch. It does some damage again, but as you guys can see, he doesn't flinch me, and I am able to get rid of the Mammoth Swine, so that is really huge. He now only has 2 mons left, the Larias and the Swampert. So yeah, that's pretty nice for me. I recover some more HP, and I think he goes into the Lari right here. Yeah, Serenity, the Larias, so Mega Larias is in again. I decide to switch out right here because I need to preserve Cryogonal for the Swampert. And I decide to go into Aromatisse. I probably should have went Bisharp, but I didn't want to take a surprise HP fighting or something. He goes for the Psyshock, so I could have went Bisharp. And Psyshock actually does a lot to Aromatisse. At the moment I didn't realize it now has Stab, unlike last Psyshock. So I was kind of surprised why it did this much. But yeah, it is a 2-hit KO on Aromatisse, which kind of sucks. I decide to go for the Protect right here, just to allow Larias to take some more toxic damage. So I do Protect right here, he takes some more toxic damage, and now I could have went Bisharp again, but as I said, didn't want to risk anything. I needed Bisharp, so I allow him to just take me out with Psyshock. So we do lose Aromatisse, which kinda sucks, but then again it doesn't really matter. Aromatisse did his job. So yeah, now as I said, I do have a switch into Bisharp. Bisharp is pretty much free now. So yeah, I go into Bisharp right here, I press the knockoff. If he decides to switch out, then Swampert takes some more damage. Didn't want to go for Pursuit if he stayed in potentially. So I went for knockoff. He does switch out though, goes into Jimbob the Swampert. And I do about 40% to it, so that is nice. He does reveal the Rocky Helmet, but I did knock it off. Now I'll just switch out again into the Cryogonal. As I said, Cryogonal is my best switch into this thing. I think he throws off a Scald right here. Yeah, he does go for the Scald, trying to get that burn, I think. It does some damage to Crisis, but he doesn't burn me luckily, and I am able to recover some more damage with my leftovers. And now I just go for the Freeze Dry, as it will kill the Swampert. I also didn't want to go for the Recover and risk Swampert having Stone Edge or Superpower or something like that. So Freeze Dry is able to grab the KO on the Swampert, so that is really nice. Now he only has 1 mon left, and that is his Mega Larias, and it should go down to 2 Freeze Dries. So that is what I decide to do. I go for the Freeze Dry right here, and as you guys can see, it does a solid amount. It doesn't do too much, but after the poison damage, it should definitely grab the kill on the Mega Larias. He goes for the Psyshock right here and gets me pretty low, but I did outspeed him last turn, so I should be able to outspeed him again. Yeah, it does take some more poison damage, so Freeze Dry should be a knockout. I decided to go for the Freeze Dry, but he actually outspeeds me. So it was a speed tie apparently, and he's able to KO Cryogonal. So no 3-0 win. That kinda sucks for differential, but it's all good. I now have a free switch into Mega Lopunny. I am able to outspeed it. There's no way he's gonna outspeed me, and yeah, I am able to KO it with Frustration, and yeah, that is the game. So yeah, we managed to grab a win against Blue Rogue and are now 3-0, which is really nice. But now though, I wanted to talk about the game for a sec. The turn with the Victini missing its Blue Flare just really sucked for my opponent. I really feel and felt bad about that. He just had the momentum in this match, and after losing Victini, it's kinda shifted to my favor. If Victini would have KO'd my Bisharp there, I'm like 99% sure I would have lost the battle right there. As my 2 remaining mons, two of my 3 remaining mons, Cryogonal and Aromatisse, couldn't touch Victini at all, and Lopunny wouldn't be able to OHKO it. I might have been able to weaken Victini with Aromatisse or Cryogonal and maybe grab the kill with Lopunny, but then again he would still have his remaining team for Lopunny, like his Mega Larias. So yeah, it kinda sucks this battle had to come down to Hex. I don't think I played bad at all, but I definitely underprepped for Victini, and I really just feel like I just didn't deserve this win at all. But yeah, anyway, GG to Blue Rogue. It was a fun match aside from the Hex then. Definitely go check out his channel and watch his side of the match. It's in the description down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care and goodbye.